So let's dig right in. Rethinking the home office. Okay, sometimes it's a desk at the end of the hall, you're doubling the bedroom as a home office, but new construction is giving you a whole room, at least a room. And now we want sophisticated offices. Maybe we're not going to need it full time in the future, but we are going to continue to be working from home. So it will be a nice thing to have. We want efficient workspace. Lennar was advertising that they have Wi-Fi certified throughout the entire home. You know how your modem sometimes doesn't respond in some areas of the house? They're guaranteeing that the whole house is Wi-Fi connected. And what is that advantage for you? Well, we can control so many of our smart devices from there. You can control the heating, you can control the lighting, your security systems, you can open the garage door. Smart houses can do so much, but they have to be Wi-Fi connected throughout the home. Accessible at least. The other thing is soundproofing. Soundproofing is coming in very strongly, partially because of things like this, Facebook Live, for Zoom meetings, and we're all having Zoom meetings. You don't want to try to soundproof from inside the wall because that would mean removing walls. We're doing exterior soundproofing, and as you know, truck goes by, planes overhead, or even the cat is making noise, then the soundproofing will help absorb those sounds. So basically what we're looking at is everybody wants a home that could be outfitted for a TV anchor so you can broadcast or Zoom anywhere in the world today. Decorative surfaces are coming in that'll help you soundproof or at least control some of the sound. So, there are a lot of older things that you can use. Some of them are kind of ugly, but the new ones are coming in and it's going to help. So you'll have better sound quality on your Zoom. And along with all the video equipment, you might even want a green screen, either a permanent one or one that you can roll up when you're not using it. I'm, careful with these Zoom backgrounds. I've had some people sort of weave in and out of the background, and I don't even know if they're real people anymore. So home office has become front and center. We're spending a lot of time there, and it doesn't look like we're going back to what used to be normal. So many of the big companies, especially tech companies, most of their staff is off-site. Even I know attorneys that are working at home, accountants, lenders, a lot of people are working at home. Mudrooms, they've become our transition room. We can leave our boots and our coats and our dirty stuff there, groceries we're bringing in. Remember old homes used to have a half bath at the back so you could leave your muddy boots, and sometimes they even had a little shower where the kids come in and they're all muddy and you can scrub them down. Well, that's coupled to doggy baths. So you'll have a hose and sometimes a little area that is centered for pet cleaning rather than trying to take it to the groomers every 5 minutes in muddy weather. So they're becoming our transition rooms. Number 3, outdoor living spaces have become huge this year. Covered patios, we have roll-up screens. And in this photo, look at this. We have an enormous grill and there's a little pizza oven in the back. Green eggs are in high demand. They're the cookers, not just Dr. Seuss. Outdoor TV, obviously you want to take it in the winter. You don't want it to freeze. And a fireplace. This happens to be a gas fireplace, but my neighbors have little pit parties. They have fire pits out and they have invited a few of their friends in. So it was kind of cute to see people huddled around a fire pit. The other thing is that a few months ago, bikes were in such demand you couldn't even find one for under $1,000. Why? And that's because the factories in China were closed. Even the Chinese couldn't get bikes. So now you have winter gear is in high demand and it's all on back order. The factories just can't keep up. We're living in and outdoors a lot more, even in Minnesota. Even in the winter, you're seeing a lot of different spaces. Restaurants are using heat lamps, obviously more here than in warmer climates, but sometimes it is absolutely working. Indoor garden appliances. I had to think, what is an indoor garden appliance? I can't possibly imagine. Well, I was wrong. LG has developed hydroponic refrigerators. Hydroponic. So what it is like a cool chill where you can actually grow your own greens all year round. Sure, you can garden in the summer like you usually do, and there are trellises, vertical trellises to grow. But you don't want to bring a vertical trellis indoors and just water it because you're going to have so much humidity in the air that besides sprouting your sprouts and your greens, you're going to be adding mold to the air. So these hydroponics, they're coming in various sizes of them. There are some that are half size. There are some, this one is a full size, so I would say that is a very serious indoor gardener. They do cost $3,000 to $4,000. So, it's not casual. Indoor new water filtration and quality control lets people filter their own water. I think we all remember the problem with Flint, Michigan and lead in the water. Well, it's not only Flint, Michigan. There are a lot of areas that have lead in the water. There is a system whereby you can extract humidity from the air and turn it into waters. This was originally developed for third world countries who had no access to water, but had humidity. They would extract actual water from the air, filtered down into buckets of water. So that's big, and it's absolutely pure. It's clean water. There are other filtration systems that filter out not only the surface things, but become very fine filtered and cleaner, so you don't have to depend on the city doing it for you. Kitchens are becoming, they're the hub of the home. They always have been. But now even more so. Now we need a Costco-sized pantry because bulk buying is across the board. Especially in winter, we want to go out less, and we need a pantry that'll hold more. So what are we holding in there? Not just toilet paper, dry goods, cereals, canned food, pet food, cleaning supplies, protein, no carb pancake mix, and we need pantries to store it. Number 7, bathroom retreats or spas. This has been trending for a while. And we're finding that people are loving these soaking tubs like this half egg here with lots of sparkling light. It just is very relaxing. With that, there are rainfall showers, steam showers, red light saunas, all things to make us happier, healthier, and more comfortable. Kohler has a touchless bathroom system where you barely have to touch a thing. You can just get near it. It is heat sensitive. They also have little, speakers that you can screw into the shower head. Of course, you want to dry them out afterwards. But you don't have to touch anything. They have water sensors that will heat the water to the exact temperature you want as you step into the shower. Hands off, just touch the system with a fingertip. So touchless is becoming enormous. Interest in bidets has been around for a long time, and it's been common in South America and in Europe for a very, very long time. Americans didn't really get it, but interest in bidets has zoomed up 1,000%. Well, there's no toilet paper shortage with bidets, nor do we need to chop down whole forests just to supply us with toilet paper. Toilets in general are getting super sophisticated. Toto has one with a warm seat, and oh my gosh, it is the winner bar none. I have a friend in New York who has a Toto that does absolutely everything for you. You don't even have to touch it. It's programmed. And after that, if you go to a fancy hotel and they don't have it, you feel totally cheated. So yes, and it's super, super clean. Touchless is the new normal. And again, Kohler has a whole series of products. They are touchless faucets. You just get near them and they are touch sensitive. You can also talk to them. Give me 2 cups of water in this pot. You don't even have to say please, and it will do it for you. Fill it too with a quart. Voice command and lighting systems are becoming the norm. Door sensors, window shades, remote controls can all be controlled with either a wave of the hand or voice control. Number 10, LED lighting throughout the house. People were very hesitant about LED lighting. Number 1, the bulbs were very expensive and they had this harsh blue light, or blue-green light, and it was just really unattractive. They've come down in price a lot. Some, like Centerpoint, had a major thrust where they were basically giving away or selling for like 4 bulbs for $1. The other thing is LED lights can change during the day. They can have blue light during the day to keep you fresh and alert like outdoor daylight, but it can change into a softer, more yellow light at night, boosting your circadian rhythm. Sleep has become primary as a health concern, so we don't want to be wide awake and then try to go to sleep. Lots of articles, especially since Huffington talked about sleep and how she was so exhausted. We have all been sleep deprived, and at least during the pandemic, we are allowed more sleep. So now we want comfortable, refreshing sleep, and our circadian rhythms are helped by that. And the color of lighting is actually helps our bodies stay in rhythm with the daylight and with the seasons. This past week, I visited the Passive House, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but there's so many new things coming in. Improvements in HVAC systems and air exchangers add another level of air filtration. Yes, we have what's now MEV, and they are, or the MERV, MERV. If you notice this will tell you what different levels of MERV does. And you can see all the way up to 13. It also has antibacterials in it. So you could see various levels of MERV. Then also they are developing a HEPA standard, which is what they use in hospitals, sports events, and big commercial buildings for homes. So we not only have less particles in the air, but it's removing bacteria and other germs that are floating about. There's also a UV filter, not UV, a UV light that can be poked through the ductwork that'll kill all bacteria and mold. So not just clean ducts once a year, you can sanitize the ducts with UV light. That's a new feature. We're having new surfaces, healing surfaces. And I thought, how does a surface heal? Well, bronze and copper are both antibacterial. Old doorknobs made of bronze used to be antiseptic in themselves. So when a lot of people were touching them, they were still clean. So by impregnating copper or bronze into surfaces like handles, doorknobs, you can actually make them antibacterial. In one webinar, the speaker was talking about 2,000 years ago, the Phoenicians used bronze swords. And the thing with the bronze, it cut really clean, but if a warrior was wounded, they would take shavings from the sword, put it in tiny shavings from the sword and put it in the wound so it would not infect. So sometimes what is old is coming back. It's not new again, but it's coming back because there was wisdom in hundreds of generations before us even. Number 13, remote sensing and medical assessment. We all know that now when you go through TSA or in commercial buildings, they have ways to check what your temperature is and see if you have a fever or not. Well, some of those are being developed for home use. So this device could detect whether you have a cold or a flu before you even know it. It's not here quite yet. It's not common, but it is coming. So if your kid says, you can tell if it's faking or if it's real. 14, fabrics and upholstery are very absorbent. Even carpetings, they have formaldehyde in them and release this noxious gas. So that is being replaced by other non-toxic chemicals, also to make them a little less absorbent so they don't absorb all the dirt, the dust, the body fluids, the pet hair, to make them easier to clean. And even carpeting, there's now washable carpeting. Yes, it's thin and it's light, but you can wash it and it can be cleaner. Number 15, one thing that is not on this list is insulation, and this is a huge deal. In new construction, or the way older homes were built, we're all built on dirt. You dig this hole deep into the ground, and it's always about 40 degrees. So, but if you're putting a cement layer on top of the ground, we have called what's thermal mass, and it takes on the temperature of the ground, which is 40 degrees. So in the winter, it's always sucking heat out of the house, and the same with the walls. And actually, insulation was meant to be used on the exterior of the foundation and under the foundation. The passive home that I visited, and passive means that they don't use much outside energy. It's practically self-sustaining. They have a 13-inch bed of construction foam with graphite in it to make it really dense, 13 inches throughout the entire foundation. And the exterior is wrapped with this insulating foam, so it's always warm. The basement floor is close to 70 degrees without radiant heat and without sucking energy from your furnace all the time. A few builders are using this now. We're seeing this in some of the new high level, high efficiency. It's not coming, or it is coming in, but it's not quite here yet. You will see that most of the foundations are poured cement, which has more tensile strength than the old blocks. Hardly anybody's using the blocks anymore because, number one, they're hollow. So they let air, moisture, water in through them. The new cement is sealed. They call it sealing the envelope. So the envelope around the house is sealed and hopefully insulated from both underneath and from around the outside. So you can have a smaller size furnace, use substantially less energy, and it stays dry forever because it is totally sealed. So those are a few of the things that are coming. Some of them are already in place. Some of them have been used for a while but aren't used commonly. But here it is.